Now, back to BioCentury this week.
Representative McDermott, thanks for taking the time to speak with me today. I wanted to start by asking you, you're the chair of the Ways and Means Health Subcommittee. What are you expecting or hoping to hear from President Obama in the union address about health issues?
Well, I'm the ranking member. I'm not the chair. If we were in the majority, it'd be better.
You will be someday, maybe.
But I expect the president's going to talk about implementation of the major program that we put in 2 years ago, the Affordable Care Act. That is going to be the major focus, I think, of healthcare in this country over the next 2 years.
So what does that mean from a legislative standpoint? What do you expect to happen on the Hill to either make the Affordable Care Act get implemented more smoothly, or what are the pitfalls that you might try to avoid?
Well, one of the things I worry about is that we'll spend a lot of time with people trying to repeal it. Bill Frist and I have had a conversation, and Bill Frist's attitude is, if you don't like it, don't repeal it, fix it. And I think that as soon as the Republicans in the House decide they're not going to try and repeal it, they're going to fix it, then we're going to have to deal with things like subsidies for employers and subsidies for individuals, and how the exchanges are going to work. Many states have opted not to create their own exchange, so that means the federal government's going to have to come in with an exchange, and there's going to be a lot of fine-tuning of the bill. I talk about it like a house. We bought a house. Now we're talking about the countertops and colors of the wall and the light fixtures and the plumbing fixtures. That's really what we're doing, is fine-tuning the House of Health.
And do you have confidence that starting in October, when the exchanges are supposed to start enrolling people, that things are going to be ready, and that in January, when it's supposed to start happening, people are supposed to start getting their health care through the exchanges, that's all going to happen?
I've never seen the launch of any program that didn't have some problems at the beginning. You can look at in an industry or anywhere you always have some problems. And I'm sure there will be some problems. We're going to get it up and get it going. The American people are demanding it and should not be denied it. And I think the Congress knows that and will ultimately put something together.
I want to take a step back. Some of the other issues, the big issues that you're going to be dealing with in this Congress, first up is going to be sequestration. Do you think sequestration is going to happen?
Well, for a long time I thought it's such a imprecise way to deal with government. I didn't think it would happen. But I'm beginning to believe that the Tea Party people in the House are so enamored with their ideas, their ideology, that they are going to let it happen because they think it won't have any effect. It's like hitting a nail with a sledgehammer. You don't know where the pieces are going to fly from this, and they're going to find out some rude things because they will not be anticipating what sequestration will really mean.
And do you think that then there may be some effort to mitigate it once it's gone into effect, or is it going to be we're just going to have to deal with it?
We'll be picking up pieces afterward. I mean, if we make cuts in, let's say, National Institutes of Health, and we don't put money out there for grants to be given to professors who have been doing research, we will stop the pipeline from being filled, and ultimately we'll have to find some way. You remember the crash course in this country around Sputnik? When we suddenly realized the Russians were way ahead of us, we had this huge investment. Well, we're going to have to do that at some point down the road because we're not doing it now. We should be doing it on a regular basis.
What is, so quickly also, you had some legislation that you've introduced or that you're pushing on primary care physicians.
Yeah, it's clear that if we're going to cover everybody in this country, we need more primary care physicians. I created a program called RDocs, which is like the ROTC. We decide every year how many military officers we need. We give scholarships, we give a stipend, and then they give 5 years to the country as a payback. Same way with doctors. If we know how many doctors we're going to need, we ought to give that many scholarships and put them in the pipeline, and in 4 years we'll have what we need. If we don't do that, we're going to have real problems in this country because we've got too many specialists and not enough people in primary care.
Have you had any support from the administration very quickly or from Republicans on that idea?
I got lots of response from the medical community, the primary care docs and medical students and people like that. The administration, I think, they put some money into the National Health Service Corps, but not enough money. Those scholarships are all gone. We need a much larger effort in that regard.
Well, thanks, Representative McDermott. We'll be